Right, good afternoon everybody and welcome to our events meeting. First item on the agenda is 104, apologies for absence, reasons given. There are none. Thank you. Item 105 is declarations of interest. To receive any declarations of interest in accordance with the requirements of the Localism Act 2011 and to consider any requests for dispensations in respect of pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest in agenda items. Anybody need to declare anything?
I don't do my minute.
Okay, thank you. Item 106, minutes of the previous meeting. To approve the notes of the meeting of the 23rd of March 2022 as minutes.
I'll propose.
I'll second that.
Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Yep, thank you. That's the last one.
Sorry, I'll change it round when I get back, but that's
That's the sign there.
yeah. I'll punch the wrong thing.
Thank you. Item 107, to receive an update on Jubilee and review the required paperwork. So, Jubilee, at the moment, the beacon, we've now had confirmation from district that we can use the area and that the beacon has been repaired, which is good. So we have pretty much finished the paperwork for that, haven't we, John?
Yeah, that's
And that's all, has that gone to them now?
yeah, everything's done.
So we're just waiting for any feedback from them on that one.
Yeah,
Yes.
I had a look at the fireworks.
Oh, right.
We
Yes.
discussed on the last meeting. I
Yes.
didn't realise they were so expensive. But those box ones,
Yeah.
which is just one touch, one light, aren't they?
Yeah.
For a 3-minute display, which is nothing, is it, fireworks? You're looking at £150. I was quite shocked.
Yeah. I think it would be lovely to do,
Yeah.
but I do think that we're going to have so many issues if we try and do it.
I did wonder whether it was worth just see if we can get a load of sparklers or something for the youngsters. But that would probably become a new offer safety, wouldn't it?
It
So,
would.
yeah.
I think the best thing would probably be the glow sticks,
Okay, glow sticks.
because
Yeah.
they're quite cheap to buy.
Yeah.
If we could get a load of glow sticks and then they can make them into necklaces and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
sorts of things if they wanted to, or maybe see what else we can find out
Yeah.
there that is that sort of thing.
Do you want me to have a look?
Yeah,
I don't
if you
know.
don't mind, and then we can see whether we can at least have something that we can give out to the children that attend. And then if anybody in the vicinity decides to play fireworks, well, that's great, we've just watched their display, haven't we? But it's going to be a tricky
I'm
one.
sure there'll be loads
There
of
will be
fireworks
people that will be
around.
doing it, I'm
Yeah.
sure they will.
It's a lot of money though, isn't it, just for a few
I
minutes?
would pay.
And then you've got the whole thing, you've got to have a competent person that's going to do
Yeah.
it, you've got to find a suitable place that you can do it from.
And they're still going to be visible from the beacon.
Exactly,
Yeah.
so it's going to be quite tricky to find that and work it out, so I think that's probably not sensible
Okay,
at this stage.
I'm happy with that.
And then if we look at seeing whether we can do something else like the glow sticks or something similar.
Okay.
Any other thoughts on that? I think we need to contact the Air Corps, don't we really, and get information of what they're planning to do food-wise and drink-wise in case we need to bring in somebody else to provide drink, if nothing else, or whether we ask laddies or somebody to
Yeah.
go there with ice creams. As
We
an
do have a
alternative.
bit of spare money that we didn't really know about, but we provisioned £1,000 to get the safe fixed.
Right.
Well, the safe is now working and we've only spent 120, so
So maybe we could, even if we bought a load of soft drinks or
Yeah.
something, and then we
Yeah.
did something that way, we could
Yeah.
probably do that, man that ourselves potentially,
yeah.
or
I
look
don't think
at
you've got a
something.
booker's card, have they, or anything like that?
Have a look at what else we can provide.
I followed up the live music a bit.
Right.
The sticking point seems to be the PA system. They do actually have their own, but they're not willing to.
They're not going to use, they
They're
don't
not
want to
willing
use
to use
it.
it because it's precious.
Okay. Well, what is your PA system, Mark? Is that just a microphone and speaker?
Well, it's mixing desk, power amp, speakers, microphone.
We use it for performing, don't you?
Yeah, used to, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can have to use that, it's not a problem.
Are you happy with that for the Jubilee Day?
Hmm?
Yeah? So if they are, I mean, if they want to liaise with
Yes.
Mark around what it is and where, what they need to set up, etc. Just one supply of electricity for it or more?
No, you can run it off on supply.
Okay, because we just need to think where we're going to put that.
Just needs to be depending on obviously weather.
Yeah,
If there is any risk of rain, then obviously
it needs to
something
be
on
able
the
to
cover,
cover, yeah.
the main body of it.
Yeah, there was on my to-do list to look at PA systems.
There was,
And I've had a look, been looking, and the prices to hire them are working out at about £500, £600.
I did that, and
Yeah.
he gave me a figure of 600.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's,
Wow.
Which
yeah.
is a lot of money.
And then that says it's only to cover like an audience of 90 people.
Mm.
That's what they was quoting me. Then I had a look on Amazon at the various systems, and because I really don't know what I'm looking at, I was just trying to look at the reviews, like for the audience there was two, and they're going to be about at least £500.
Yeah.
But then you've got, when you click down, you've got to add all different wires and a stand, and it's not just a case of buying that, like you're saying, that little bit, is it? It's
So
all
it's
stuck
something we
with
can
it.
look at next year.
Yeah, it's something, because if we're going to be using it on a regular basis,
It's worth buying our own.
it's worth buying our own
Yeah.
kit,
And there are
really.
companies that will
And
advise you, if you put the area in and everything, they will tell you what will be suitable,
yeah.
you know, what you need for it, so. just
Because
a bit of legwork.
really, the only thing we're mainly going to need it for is for announcements. That's the main thing we're going to need it for. But obviously, if the music people that you've got
Yes.
hold of need it for themselves, for the car show, we don't need that because they've got their own setup. But we do still need something for announcements. So
Mm.
it's working out what we're actually going to need in the long run.
Yeah.
But we can probably look at that. I mean, if we have got anything left over in the budget, then maybe we could look at buying that this year
Mm.
from the events budget so that we're ready for the following year. can't we?
Yeah.
Would you mind, Mark, having a look and seeing what, you know, a simple setup for announcements for the best
Yeah.
that we can find so that we know what sort of amount we need to look at?
Yeah.
Can I just confirm the times that you like them? I mean, they say they've got enough of their own material to play for 2 hours.
Right, okay, so if they could do between 1
Mm-hmm.
and 2,
Yeah.
and then probably again have a break at 2, and then if they want to do another set, they can do probably from about 3 until the end, 4 o'clock time.
Okay, and that's the 5th.
Yeah, no, 4th.
4th, sorry.
But it's up to them how
Yes.
much they want to do.
Yeah.
But definitely the 1 till 2 slot.
If you also want to say to them, if they want to, they should know what I'm talking about, but if they want to DI in,
Yeah.
then basically what they'll do is they'll run their own mics into a mixing desk,
Yeah.
and then they will just feed that into the power amp,
Okay.
and then my desk will then
Okay.
chuck the volume out.
If
So,
they wanted to contact you,
yeah, can do, not a problem.
HBC email.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've got an amplifier.
We've got a small one, haven't we?
Have we?
Yeah, tons.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not powerful.
What about the old-fashioned stack things?
Yeah, it's got a big trumpet on the side and the wire.
We've got a drum kit, and
Oh.
it's for that.
No.
To be honest, our
Did you
little
wear
small
headphones?
one would work for the beacon.
Yeah.
Just what we need to do there, because it's very portable and it's got a microphone and
Yeah, that's
so
what
that would do just for the announcements for that, and then save the bigger unit.
Bigger ones for
Oh, we did say the front of the church, didn't we, as a location?
Yeah, that's where I'm aiming. I just need to look at exactly where the electric points are,
We think there's one near where the Christmas tree goes.
we believe. but
So
we
sort of
just
the
need
Christmas
to-
tree area.
Must be.
And then we'll look at if we get some form of shelter just in case.
Yeah.
So we've got a biggish gazebo.
Yeah.
And if I remember right, there's an ex-councillor that's probably still got quite a big gazebo, which we
Yeah.
could probably borrow for the day.
What's happening to the new sub-meter in Hall? If we needed to.
Only if you put a socket on the
We
outside,
can ask them to put a socket on the outside,
which would be useful from our point
and
of
then
view.
we've got control of electricity supply.
Did you want to have one that's got a lock on it?
I was just
So
going to say.
Oh,
you
yeah.
probably can't use it.
We don't want just
You can
plugging
get-
anything in.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, that would be useful.
So, from the point of view of paperwork, beacon is done. The map is pretty much done, where everything's going to be, but you can circulate that, so everybody can
Share
read
it
it in
with
detail. You've got event management plan and risk assessment.
Yeah, there's a risk assessment in there. The event management plan needed some bits. Sorry, I'll go slow. There was bits where I put in question marks, I think, but
Yeah.
more towards the end.
Okay. I think the best thing we can probably do with that is if we all go through it with a bit of fine tooth comb in the next few days and read them in detail, and then email back to each other
Yeah.
our thoughts, and then if myself and Jan and any of you that are available, if we have it, just get together and just get it done.
Yeah.
But if you can all feed back in, that would be quite useful, rather than going through every little item tonight, because it
We
will
could
Yeah.
get the
be
car
there
show
forever.
one done at the
Yeah.
same time, can we just?
I've sent out 2 emails to 2 different lots of people regarding first aid cover, but
Yeah.
I haven't had any
Yeah,
response.
that's fine. It's more, it's just in case SAG come back and they deem that we haven't got enough people. I'm just a bit mindful that certainly the bigger events, we might struggle to have enough cover, even though we're all now trained, because it depends on how many people they say we need.
We are covered by our insurance, aren't we?
Yeah, and we got that thing confirmation
Yeah.
from the insurance,
Yeah.
so.
Do we have sufficient high-vis jackets that says first aid on the back? They do need to get some.
It doesn't say first aid, but it does say Public Bush Council.
You probably want one that says
First aid.
first aid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'd say, I don't know.
so we want Hollywood Parish Council first aid or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And we probably want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8,
10,
10.
why not?
Go
Yeah.
for 10's an even number, and that gets you up in
Um,
it. In varied sizes.
Yeah.
the company we bought the uniforms from would probably be a good start.
Mhm.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go with.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be expensive, are
No, I mean, they're what, like £2 each, aren't they,
they?
really?
Yeah.
Did we say we've got some plain high-vis in the
Yeah.
set?
Mm.
Would we just be able to have those printed, do you think?
I think to be honest, it'd be probably about the same price,
Well,
just
we
to
could ask the question,
buy them,
couldn't we?
but yeah.
But at least if we've got the plain high-vis, if we need any extra people, then at least we can issue those out, then, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so if we can all go through those particular things, the risk assessment and everything, I mean, obviously, I haven't really gone through it in any great detail, Jan, but I'm presuming we haven't put a huge amount of detail in around the wheelbarrow race, have we?
For the risk assessment, I put in,
You've got the bit at the bottom, like,
yeah, sorry. Scroll not.
entrance forms must be completed, organised reserves the right to prevent anyone deemed not able to park, cordon off area to keep spectators at a safe distance. Yeah.
We have got a template one that there's another village has used. Did you find,
There is,
didn't you?
yeah, I'll,
I think we
I'll
need to do
find
a
that for the
separate
wheelbarrow.
risk assessment.
Do a
just
separate
for-
risk.
for
So leave
the
that bit
wheelbarrow, I
in
think.
and then put C under there, C risk assessment.
well, you could do it for the same one, but I think we just probably need to add a few bits, because I suspect the district are going to be a bit iffy about
So if I
wheelbarrows.
put C, C
And I'll find one from
appendix 1.
another village.
on there, so that. Struggling a bit with clear clarification about the COVID thing, because one person's told me I've got to have it in, and then somebody else said not to worry about it.
Just put it in.
So
You put it in, and
Yeah.
people
Worst-
do what they want
Worst
to.
case scenario, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if we, like I say, if we go through that, if there's anything that we think just needs adjusting or something that's not been thought about or whatever, if we do that over the next week or so, and then we'll get together and just finish it all off and get it away for the Jubilee, and then that's done with then, isn't it?
Yep.
Because the traffic management plan's been done, so that's all sorted. We do need to look at the signage at the back and just see what we've got there in case we need anything extra on the day, barriers, etc., that sort of thing. And that is pretty much organised. So is there anything else anybody can think of that we need to clarify, or any thoughts of
Do
anyone?
we have enough volunteers to help out? I don't know who's volunteered new out.
We did a list, didn't we?
I've got a volunteers list now.
I need to
Some
give you
of-
some details.
Yeah, some of Rick's haven't responded.
Is there not?
No,
Who hasn't responded?
can't tell you on camera.
Is it a lady or a man?
A lady and a man.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will chase them.
So far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 responded. Yeah.
Is that including councillors or excluding?
I'm missing a councillor's partner.
He did get it.
And 2 that Rick gave me.
I think one of those is going to be doubtful,
Yeah.
the female one.
And you've got several, haven't you?
Well, there's definitely one that will do it, but I need to give you the details, and the other one is a possible. So I'll talk to them, and then you can send the email and everything then. Because the busiest time is going to be setting up, and then around the wheelbarrow race,
So,
really,
how many
isn't it?
volunteers have we got in total then?
The last time we worked out we had.
Because we've got councillors, haven't we?
Yeah.
And various councillors, relatives.
Just trying to find the. Oh, here we go. So I took down here. So I've got 4 from Isabel, 2 from Peter, 4 from Rick, 1 from you, 2 from Mark, 2 from me, it's 15, and you can't do Julie, can you? So that was 15.
Yeah, wedding.
Okay.
So you're going to have, what,
So we
4 on the road closure at any one point?
And we're going to need to rotate. I mean, people are going to have at least an hour off at a time.
Yeah, and it just depends how many people you need milling around, not on the road closure.
You're going to need somebody. You're going to need first aid cover at all times.
All times, yeah.
Yeah.
Just another quick thought. What happens if the Queen doesn't make it to the Jubilee weekend?
That did cross my mind.
Yeah, I
Will we
think.
change it to a coronation event, or will we go
Well,
to
it
morning?
wouldn't be a coronation event because obviously that would be further into the future.
Yeah.
It would become a celebration day.
Yeah,
But if it were in the morning, then the whole thing would just have to be
cancelled.
cancelled.
Okay.
There is nothing else you could do.
No.
Are you allowed to do other events whilst you're in the morning?
Technically not.
So if it fell at a bit of a
council.
wrong time, then our events are going to be cancelled.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
But it is what it is.
Mm.
I need to check out how we're covered on our insurance for that.
For costs involved.
If we have to cancel due to, yeah.
If they're not going to cover us, then we can look at asking local companies to see whether we can get covered for.
She has become very frail, hasn't she, in the last
Yeah.
few months? Very frail.
I think the whole the way I see it is that they are planning to go ahead with absolutely everything,
Yes.
regardless of
Yeah.
what happens,
Mm.
unless it happens on that time.
In that, yeah.
Because they'll make it a celebration of
Mm.
her
Yeah.
life,
Yeah, yeah.
won't they? Rather than cancelling everything, because they've already put the bank holidays and everything in place. So
Lots of
it's
change.
there.
And of course, Harry and Meghan are coming as well, aren't they? So,
Yeah, so yes, it's not an ideal situation, but we're just going to have to.
yeah, we have to prepare for it, don't we?
Yeah.
Just in case.
I mean, the actual Jubilee event is not really costing us a huge amount of money.
Right.
It's costing us a bit, but it's not a lot of money. So if we had to.
We have to spend some money for the.
Yeah. But
They
if we had to
won't,
cancel, it wouldn't impact
No,
too heavily.
no.
So, yeah, so if we've, I mean, if anybody knows of any other people that want to help, then that's great, but I think we'll probably put something out on social media.
Do you want me to do like a rota?
Yeah. I think it's fair. I mean, setup time will be busy, because we'll need people manning points to get the road closure in place, and when the tractors have gone through, closing everything down.
Yeah.
Then it'll sort of lull a little bit, so people will be able to have a bit of a break. But then if we get a lot of people wanting to enter the wheelbarrow race, then that period of time towards the end of the day could be quite manic.
Yeah.
So we need more people on patrol at that time.
What I've put on the plan and also said to the guy organising the tractors is to make it easier. They're planning to arrive at Church Street for 11, so they can drive through and then go off and do a static display in Church Street, and then we'll close the road off once they've gone through. So we can have kind of the barriers in place as a bit of a soft closure from about 10 or something like that, because the road closure's in from 10, isn't it? And then we can put the barriers across as a hard closure once they've gone through, so technically it won't be pedestrianised. I think it should be a bit easier.
It's a hard closure, 5 metres north of Spire View, and it's a soft closure.
Yeah.
The other side of Spire View,
Near Holgate Junction.
near Holgate Junction, on the advice of LCC, so the traffic will still come up, but they have the ability there to turn down Holgate if need be.
Good.
And how long do you think each set of people will be required at one time? How long on the road closure? An hour at a
Yeah, an
time?
hour at a time, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think you won't be stood there for any longer than an hour.
No.
How about, can we sit down?
Well, as long as
We
you're
could do,
as
yeah.
long as you're at the barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would struggle standing up for an hour.
Yeah.
On my knees.
Well, we've got,
You've got folded chairs and stuff.
Yeah.
I've got 5 chairs.
so if we rotate people so that they're on for an hour at a time, 2
Yeah.
at each end, and then have time off in between to do whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, if we'll put something out on social media asking for any volunteers who wish to help, and then we can get them trained and whatever in the interim, so they know what's going to be happening.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
In relation to stalls,
Yes.
we're having stalls.
We're not having many.
No, okay.
There's only, at the moment, there's only 3/4 stalls as such.
We do need to contact, do you remember the lady who spoke to us, the cat rescue lady at
Yes.
St John's? She said that she would like to have a stall at the Jubilee. Apparently she knows Rachel, so.
This was the little lady with the Zimmer.
No,
Oh, no.
the one that was speaking to you and Rick.
Oh, yes.
Mrs.
Yeah.
Chapman, is it?
I'm not sure. She does cat rescue.
Yeah, so from that point of view, most of the stalls will be on the stretch of pavement. So the entertainment will be in and around the churchyard.
Yeah.
And then you'll have just a few stalls, and it is only people like the Brownies and WI having a stall just in that area on
So-
pavement, the bar will be up that end.
Oh, the one.
And
Yes.
then the static displays and the things of interest, like the tractors and the memorabilia, will be further down, near towards the,
Library.
yeah.
So, for the temporary event notice.
Yeah.
I need to do, I'm still trying to find out about the band.
Yeah.
See, with the temporary events notice, we need to do separate ones, don't we? And I think what SAG said to us is that it's the actual
Area.
stall/person who has to apply for it themselves.
They can do it, or we can do the area. They said if you've got a bar set up and entertainment, if you create an area around that.
But we'd have to do separate tents for each area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would, pretty much the way we've done it, is that the bar and the entertainment are going to be within an area, aren't they? Basically.
Yeah. So you could say it's that little.
Yeah, so that area there would be entertainment area.
That's on your plan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I've
Yeah.
made that for the tens.
And then we can say that that area is covered by the tent.
Because you can't fit more than 450 people into
No,
that.
you wouldn't.
No, so that's fine.
So that's how you get
There's
around
no
it.
restrictions on alcohol in that area, is there?
It'd be on the pavement, so it's highways rather than church.
Alright.
But yeah, church there.
So, yeah, I think we've pretty much covered Jubilee, unless anybody can think of anything else. Car show, 108, update on car show and review the required paperwork. Well, again, we'll go through the paperwork individually, have a look at it and come back. It's based on what we did last year.
Got about 150, have we?
Yeah, we've had
Wow.
a quick tot up over the weekend. That's still a little bit flexible because some of the groups, so the car clubs, they've booked so many slots, but we haven't had confirmation yet of exactly what they're going to be bringing. So, but we're looking at around about 150.
Is the Boston Road South hole going to cause any problems for us at the moment?
No.
You know?
Not as far as I'm aware, because it's further up.
Yeah, I was just thinking if they decide to do like a remedial work, it
We
might
have
come back
to-
towards us, might.
No waiting signs, no waiting in front of the school.
Yeah,
And they said that if we book it in as an event, they won't plan any of the works for that.
oh, okay, that's good then.
But yeah, they did say they were going to do
Yeah.
investigation works all the way up until the school, didn't they? So,
Well, yeah, I was listening to what she
yeah.
said last night.
If it does become an issue, I have got a second thought in my head.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it Jan's garden?
No. No.
That's trouble.
Which I think we could do,
Okay,
but I haven't broached the subject yet,
Right.
because I'd rather stick to plan A,
stick to where we are, yeah.
where we are at the minute, but if we have to, then we could.
There is a possibility.
Yeah. So for the point of view of, yes, we've got, the cars are all booked in, I just need to start now chasing people to commit to giving their paperwork for you, Jan. Get that sorted out and finding out exactly what the trade stands are going to be bringing, so we know space-wise. And toilets are provisionally booked.
Yes.
Do they come back anymore?
She's going to email, I spoke to her this morning, so she's put the 2 trailers, 2 disabled, and because the second trailer might not be here till 10, they're putting on a spare single toilet.
Right,
So we'll
okay.
do something.
So
She's
they're
just
going to
waiting-
bring the majority
Yeah,
day
hopefully it'll all be.
before or the, on
I need to
earlier in the
confirm
day?
that with you how you want to do it, but I think it'll be on the morning.
Right.
Because 2 of the units are out at a wedding, so she's just waiting to contact them
Yeah,
to see what time's the earliest she can get them.
okay,
But as she said, the lads have promised that they'll be clean and everything and ready for us.
okay, fine. So we're happy that that's sorted now. The strongman competition, Royals Gym, he's been in touch with me, just wanted to confirm a few details. So I've suggested that we have a meeting with him sometime in May, just to go through what he's going to require and what we need from him. So I'll set up a date, and then if anybody's available, then they're more than welcome to come. I'll try and get somebody from the school at the same time so that we can start to nail down the few little issues that we need to iron out and get that sorted, and then know exactly who's going to have access at what point, because I know there was a lot of talk about setting up a lot of it on the Saturday from Royal Student point of view, if they wanted to get in and get things ready on the Saturday, so we can talk around that. Other than that, everything else is pretty much sorted,
Good.
as far as I'm aware.
And will you need a PA for that as well?
Yes, please, Mark.
Okay.
Because the bands will have their own,
Yeah.
but just purely for announcements.
Okay.
That's all we need it for. So because that was one of the things Royals Jim was asking about, would there be a PA system? Because obviously they will want to use it to announce
To MC, yeah.
yeah, the different categories and what's going on, and we'll need it to announce when you've got the cars that have won prizes and stuff like that. So,
Have we got all the judges sorted?
no, I haven't. I still need to contact a couple of people,
Okay.
but I'm sure we can get.
Mr. Matthews said yes.
Yeah, but he was confused as to which one it was going to be.
Yeah, no,
But he's
he's
still
all right.
happy to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. So if we can get one more person, then at least you've got two people going
Yeah.
around. It makes it slightly
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Anything else anybody wants to ask about car show? No? Okay. 109, update on Remembrance Parade.
So, not a lot of news really. Jan's been dealing with Royal British Legion area rep. We're waiting for John, previous councillor, to email back to RBL to see if they want to take part or not. Push comes to the shove, I think one of us will have to give John a ring, which I don't mind doing. Just see if they want to take part. Be nice if they did,
And go from there.
and go from there, yeah.
And then the only other next step would be to clarify with the church.
Yes, I was sort
Because,
of hoping you were going to do that.
well, I did have conversation
Yes.
with her.
Yeah,
And their thoughts were that if they were not needed for the morning one, then they would not run a service in the morning for their normal general service.
yes,
So then presumably that means that they then have the official
yes,
remembrance service in the afternoon. But if they're asked to do a remembrance service in the morning, then they won't want to do another one in the afternoon.
okay.
So again, we don't know whether they've been asked.
No, I don't believe they want a church service from what you said to me.
No.
From the spokesman, but you never know, do you?
So I think another conversation either via CAS or direct
Well, if we could
is
ask,
needed.
if we ask them to pencil it in,
Yeah,
then if the other group come along and request a morning one, then we just have to deal with it at that point, don't we?
yeah.
What about a bugler? Do we need to hire a bugler for the...
We need to, we need to sort out band or whatever, don't we?
Yeah.
Do you want me to, are we looking to use town band?
If we can, yeah. Yeah,
So I've got their, obviously, contact for the
Okay.
Jubilee. I can
Yeah.
email if you want me to, and
Yes,
just
please.
say, would they be interested?
yeah.
I don't know whether they do, does anybody know whether they do St Mark's?
Don't know.
I sort of thought in my head that they might get involved with that,
But if they do, it'll be morning anyway,
will it?
I would think. Because don't they do a morning service there?
I don't know.
We're still in for the morning. We haven't been officially told.
No,
Different.
but I think we've got to presume we're probably going to be shoved to the afternoon,
Mm.
so. Plan for the
If
afternoon.
we apply for next year,
Yeah.
So I'll contact the band, ask if they're interested, because if they're not, we're going to need to look for another band, aren't we?
yes.
Mm.
So,
A band with a bugler.
yeah.
When are we wanting to start inviting various groups?
When you get it confirmed, it'll be morning
Once
or
we've got
afternoon.
firm-
Yeah. I think there's still plenty of time, isn't there, to be honest? It's only April now, isn't it? So,
When's
Yeah.
that meant to be? Is that July? What's that? Confirmation.
Yeah, and they said July, didn't they?
so the end of July is when we can start sending invites out, can't we? Look, there's nothing stopping us talking to RBL and the scouts and
Yeah.
whatever else now.
At
is
least
there?
they put out a
Sent
few
an email out,
feelers.
didn't I?
You did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If we start putting out few feelers as to who is interested
Yeah.
and is looking to be involved, then that would
Yeah.
be quite
We,
useful.
do we also need to send one out to MP, Mr Hayes?
He will get an official
Yeah.
invite, yeah, but yeah, again, we need to know who's going to be supporting and who's not.
Well, you just have to send the invites out, see what you get back, don't you? So,
Yes, we need to look at purchasing a wreath as well, don't we, on behalf of the council?
That's normally done via RBL, isn't it?
Yeah, they charge-
yeah,
We
they
can go
do.
to them direct and get it a lot cheaper.
Yeah,
And then we need a wreath layer.
yeah, normally
it would
it's
normally
the
be the
chairman of the parish council
Yeah.
does wreath laying.
Mm.
And then we would just need somebody to organise and announce who's coming up at which points, which normally a member of the RBL did that previously, didn't
It did.
I think judging by what happened last year, we
Needs
need
to
to,
be much better organised.
yeah, and we also need to sort of like maybe even send a sort of like communication out to RF Holbeach and
Yeah,
invite them
they?
based on last year as well.
yeah. And, you know, even if they know what order they're meant to be going up in, so when they confirm they're coming, then
Mm.
you basically, you give them the order
We can
that
send
they're
out
going
information,
up,
yeah.
and then it will run a lot smoother.
And there'll only be people with wreaths this year, not
Yes.
not like last year.
Yeah.
And people just
And
standing in
then-
line, aren't
At the end, are we allowing just any members of the public who want to lay a wreath
they? Yeah,
to lay one at the end?
I think we should.
Would we be permitted to put spray painted numbers on the pavement along there so that we can wreath layers, we can give a number and then they know
Stand at that point,
stand
yeah.
at that point?
I suppose that, I mean, the way you'd probably end up doing it is you'd be congregated in the churchyard and then you'd put them all in a line going up towards the war memorial on the pavement. And then they just lay the wreath and then they wander back. And then, so we could literally, instead of having it lined up on the road, we can have them lined up
Yeah.
in order.
Wander back. Should be marching back, not wandering.
I wonder.
Yeah, so we just need to think about the way it works,
Mm.
because it's going to be coming from a different angle as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah, because we're coming up from Church
Yeah.
Road this time, aren't we?
So you can end up, you could gather the other side of the war memorial around the grass and stuff, couldn't you?
Yeah, and then walk round,
Yeah.
because the key ones will be lined up for the first,
Yes.
and as soon as they go back, the next row comes
Yeah.
and do it that way. So it should work fairly
Mm.
You've got a lot of
easily,
space in that churchyard, so you should be able to get.
but it just needs a little bit of tweaking.
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
it? Okay, so the next step really is contact the band and contact the church.
Yeah.
And pencil in what we are requiring.
Will we need a PA system for that as well?
Yes. Now, normally, the PA system is organised by the RBL,
Okay.
but again, this time, I don't know what will happen. We normally only facilitate the actual parade.
Yeah.
They organise the actual wreath laying, etc., etc.
Mm.
So it depends on how much involvement they want within that element of it. So,
I think it needs to be collaborative, to be honest, because problem with last year is we didn't quite understand the whole wreath laying procedure. So if we got a better understanding of how it's going to
They're
take
not
part,
only sure now, are they, to organise anything,
No.
unfortunately.
no,
It has to be
so
organised by the...
we need to sort of, yeah. So in terms of PA then, we pretty much need it for every single event, don't we? So
yeah. So I
should
think
we
it-
just use the leftover money from the safe situation?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Look into,
if we can look into it, and
Yeah.
if there's something available that's good enough that you
Yeah.
can find, Mark, then I
Mm.
think we just go for it and we purchase what we need.
Yeah.
Because we're going to need it for virtually every event we're going to have up.
We built in a contingency for this year anyway, haven't we? So push comes to shove, we can always use some of that as well.
Put that on the next finance agenda.
Okay, anything else on remembrance? No,
What was John's surname? Spencer, wasn't it?
Spencer.
Spencer.
I've got home number if you want it.
Yes, please.
110 is to resolve to agree the date for a second yard sale. So the first one is filling up rapidly.
I would say September.
August, September time.
Yeah.
So it's whatever people are thinking, really.
First week in September? If
We
it
are
doesn't clash,
away.
okay.
That's food festival, isn't it?
Yes, it is. First Saturday, Sunday in September is food festival.
I can't do the weekend of the 9th and 10th.
Just looking back on,
Is,
Would you be better off doing it last week of August in
Yeah.
the sense of
Yeah,
everyone's
kids are
school
still
holidays?
young and
You know,
it might be better. I know people go away, but then also people are trying to get rid of stuff.
before going back to
before
school.
going back, have a bit of clear on.
So not the bank holiday weekend.
When's the
Do
Music
it.
Beer Festival? That's the beginning,
That's
isn't
the
it?
beginning of August.
Does it have to be on the Sunday? Can we do it on a Saturday?
Can be Saturday, can be whenever you would like.
Monday the 29th is spring bank holiday.
No.
That one, late
Yeah.
summer.
Late
Not
summer.
spring.
What about Saturday, 27th then?
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind, whatever. I mean, it doesn't take any organising. Once it's
No.
organised,
Yeah.
literally all we have to do is take out or
Numbers.
send out the numbers to
Yeah.
everybody,
And we
and then
do-
they put them up, and
Yeah.
it runs itself.
Most of the ones, we've got email addresses. for
So we just
them,
literally send them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Saturday 27th?
yeah, I think a bank holiday might work quite well, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Who's that? Mark?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All agreed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, item 111 is to resolve to agree planting days for Jubilee Garden. Now, we did potentially think about doing something on the same day as the yard sale, but I think we're going to be pushed to be ready, because we're not going to have it prepared, and we're potentially not going to have the plants either.
Taylor's Bulbs have come back to me today, so we can send someone up there to collect them.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. So, at any point, do we just tell them when we're going?
I'll have to check what
Yeah.
they said, but yeah.
Okay.
So we're not doing planting on the 8th?
I think
digging or whatever?
We may, it depends on, we need to discuss with the staff as to how much, if anything, they're going to be able to get done.
Yeah.
If they're not able to get done, then we could potentially have a day of
Dig it out.
digging,
Yeah.
getting ready on the 7th.
I mean, realistically, you can
Whatever.
start digging anywhere from now onwards because
Yeah.
it's roughly March.
What about with the turf lift? Are we going to hire one of those?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see if Steve can get hold of. Sorry, I was keeping somebody. If Steve can get hold of anything.
I think the priority would be if we can get the sleepers for around the stage.
I've asked them for a quote for
Mhm.
our rubbers, but they haven't come back to me.
Okay.
It depends on how many we want as well.
Yeah,
Are you going to stack them up
I'd probably stack them up a bit.
like bricks?
Yeah. Because if we can get them and the parts team can get that in place, then
Yeah.
any turf that we take off can just go straight into.
Right. So you're going to probably want quite a few sleepers then, really,
Mm. Yeah.
because the stage has got to be high enough for people that are sitting on the grass to be able to see
Oh.
from the back, and they see
Yeah. Is it 3 sleepers high, do you think?
yeah, 3 or 4, do you reckon?
Depends whether you go edge or flat.
Flat would be safer, I think.
Mm.
Easy to fit together as well.
We've got to be able to get up onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 high then.
It's about here, isn't it?
Yeah.
We need a step.
So we can build it in with the offcuts.
Yeah.
Can't we?
Yeah.
Then it's just how wide the stage is going to be.
Yeah.
Maybe work it best for the amount of sleepers you've got.
We-
That's how I would suggest.
Yeah.
So you don't have to mess around cutting or doing
No.
whatever, you just
Yeah.
work it to a sizing that's proportionate.
But if you do a square one
Oh.
with just 3 sides, then you don't need to worry about cutting because you can just do them like bricks, can't you?
Yeah.
We got ours from Marketplace,
Did you?
somewhere in Woodbridge, I think.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to ask.
Certainly
Yeah, so,
Company in Boston that do things very
Fenelon
cheaply.
Timber doesn't.
yeah, if we can get some pricing, that'd be good.
The other place is, Ayres is down Penrose, Danbury, sorry.
Is it?
Ayres,
Yeah.
Roofing.
yeah, roofing,
Yeah.
they do
Oh,
sleepers.
Oh, yeah. On the way to the butchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if we can get some ordered, even if we end up with a few extras, doesn't matter. And then digging and then sleepers can happen as soon as, can't it really?
Just need if we could, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so
need
we
about
can
some long
find,
bolts as well.
Yeah.
so if we can find out price for hiring a turf cutter from wherever, I mean, if,
Yeah, need it for a day though, don't we?
yeah, I mean, if Karen, if your other
Yeah,
half
'cause
is
it's planning
able
on
to,
coming, so
then that's great, but if not,
find out stuff
Yeah.
straight away.
They're not expensive to hire, are they? And if Colin and Aaron aren't busy, then perhaps one of
one
us.
of them would come and help and.
So we would do it at weekend and then just get it all dug out and, yeah.
We need to extend our insurance because our insurance doesn't cover us for plant hired in.
Okay.
Yes, we do, yeah, that's true.
We probably also want to take the area off as well. Because the
Well-
last thing you want is a kid falling over a
Yeah,
hole in the ground.
which luckily we've got the fence, so that's easy to just take off.
That's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and my thoughts are that we look at removing all those picnic benches in the interim while we're planting,
Yes.
so people don't gather in there at all.
Yeah. Keep them away for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, tape's not going to keep them out.
No, but I mean, you can hang something off the tape, can't you, say danger?
Yeah.
So if we find out about sleepers, and once we know about that, we can then book in a day for digging. And then we're going to have a look for plants, aren't we? And once we've got a date for delivery, then we can book in a day for planting.
Well, ideally, we want the plants to be delivered on a Friday, don't we?
Yeah.
Ready for planting on a Saturday.
Yeah.
You mentioned about, we could always store them in the toilets, can't we?
Toilets, yeah. They're
Oh,
all
Depending on how
right.
many we've got.
Yeah, once we know the delivery date, we can just put it
Yeah.
out on Facebook and say planting day, hop along.
Yeah.
So we could still aim for that weekend of the 7th, 8th to potentially do some digging out for anybody that's available.
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks, isn't it? So, yeah.
And it's just bringing up the nursery, isn't it, and arranging.
And
For when
then
people
we'll
go out.
arrange to get over there as soon as we can and get that
Mm.
something sorted. Because then once we know how much we've got to spend on the actual sleepers, then we'll know better what we've got left over.
Yeah, I'd say if you look at £2,500 as a minimum for the plants, we should, the £500 should cover the sweepers and the hire of the turf lifter.
That's good.
And again, we could always do some more digging to see if we've got any more money anyway.
And there is that potential of the grant application from the
Oh, yeah.
co-op.
And the £500,
Yeah, from the lady.
yeah, I mean, that would be nice to spend on the Jubilee Garden as well.
Mm-hmm.
That could be for some of the niceties to finish it off, couldn't it?
Yeah. Just the more we can,
Maybe to the lady who's.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yes, talking flags.
Oh.
You can circulate that or show it, whatever. We'll come back to that
Yeah.
at the end.
it'd be good to make a good start though.
Yeah,
And like we said the other day, carry on funding it
yeah.
year on year so
Mhm.
that the upkeep is always there as well.
So if we aim to get as much prepared, dug out that weekend,
Yeah.
if we can, and then aim for consecutive weekends where you have planting days, as soon as we've got
Yeah.
the plants, just get cracking.
Mm.
So we won't put out the planting days until we know exactly when they're going to be delivered.
Yeah.
But it'll be in May. So at least there'll be something in there ready for Jubilee.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the same time, we will need to do the churchyard, which we need to get those pots moved, which we'll talk about in the work scheduling.
Yeah.
Because we need to look at, when we have open spaces, where we want to group the pots ready for planting.
On the 7th of the 8th, if there's not enough to do at the Jubilee Garden, could we not do the.
Yeah, we could do, if we've got some plants,
churchyard?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we could.
So can I, so I'm going to change the agenda item.
Mm-hmm.
To resolve to agree to, to resolve to agree the planting days.
Yeah.
So one don't need to change the agenda. 7th, 8th of May, and put out planting dates one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So propose that please. Mark, thanks. Second. Okay. All agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 112 is to discuss plans around the Christmas fair and resolve to agree to apply for the road closure. Are we still thinking road closure for the section in the High Street? Is that what we're thinking?
I
For
think-
the parade?
Yeah, I think it would be nice to. I think it's the area where it sparks a lot more interest, and it also, you know, I think we need to be communicating with the businesses in town to, you know, to get their buy-in as well and see what they, you know, what their thoughts are. And again, I think that's where most of the trade is, isn't it? So.
So are we just thinking of doing that short period that we were thinking originally? So have things going on in and around the churchyard earlier in the afternoon?
Yeah, I think that would be.
And then just do a short road closure,
Yeah,
probably
for
for
a
even
couple
an hour,
Yeah.
2 hours tops.
Yeah.
Just to literally do the parade
Yeah.
and finish off the event.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be dark at 4ish then, won't it?
Mhm.
So we'll be looking at potentially road closure from
5:30 to 7:30.
probably even slightly earlier than that, do you
Yeah.
think? So it's sort of when the shops would normally be closing, maybe? So maybe maybe do from 4:30 to 6:30?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the, you know, like you say, without speaking to people, I don't know what the buy-in would be in relation to maybe even a slightly later opening.
Yeah, they might
through the
do,
town,
if there's
you know.
enough
If there's enough people going,
happening
yeah.
and bringing people in.
Yeah.
So if we're basically agreeing that we're going to apply for road closure for the High Street, for the shorter section, so probably not the whole length, but probably just from,
And it's on a Saturday, isn't it?
yeah, probably from Barrington Gate, do you think?
Well, this side of Barrington Gate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just this side of Barrington Gate through, so you've got enough space.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
What date
Can't,
is that,
you're
please?
better, I mean, I'm not that familiar.
December the 3rd, I think it is.
Third, yeah, the first Saturday in
Yeah,
December.
because where's Albert Street? That's one way though, isn't it? It's
Oh,
one
that's
way.
what it is, yeah.
So that doesn't need marshals. So 2, 4, 6. Oh yeah, that's all right.
From the terms of not having to do major things with diversions, hour and a half would be better than 2 hours.
Okay, so we can tweak the timings.
Mhm.
If we can, between now and next time we meet, if we divvy up the town so that we go and speak to individual areas and find out how they would feel and what time they would like the road closure to be, considering that we want to do the lantern thing. Because if they'd rather have it sort of over the end of their trading time and just for an extra hour after, great, but if they want it extended, then we can then work out the timings.
Yeah.
Yeah? So who's happy to do what? Because if we just do it in sections, so you could do from the co-op to Barrington Gate, there's not many there, is there? So if somebody did from co-op to Albert Street, say, on that side, and then somebody else did on the opposite side from co-op through to Albert Street, and then others did the other bit.
Yeah.
So I'm happy, I'll do whatever. So if we just decide who's going to do which area, just go and ask a few people.
Mm-hmm.
So if we tackle, if we tackle from Co-op down to Albert Street on both sides,
Yeah, we do that.
us two,
Yeah.
and then if between you just decide which area you want to go
I
to.
think it'd be better if one of you two did the QD side for Chosen. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't think I would be tolerated at the moment.
We'll do that together.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, so if you do from Albert Street down,
Yeah.
Yeah,
on both
Both
sides,
sides, yeah.
yeah.
and then we just, if you can just go into Church Street there,
Yeah.
Rick, and sort of around,
Yeah,
if you did
Church
around
Market Hill.
Market
Market
Hill
Hill as well,
and
yeah.
just into Church Street,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and just find out how they feel
Yeah.
and what sort of timings they would
Mm.
like.
When would you like us to do that?
Any
Okay,
time
so-
between now and our
Next
next meeting,
Okay.
and then we can feedback, and then we can put in the road closure timings correctly for what we need
Yeah.
in them.
So we need to change the agenda item.
We're also just going to consult a bit on what they fancy happening on the day.
Yeah.
Idea would be having stuff in the churchyard during the afternoon
And then have a final parade
yeah.
through the town, finish at the church,
Mhm.
have some carols and whatever around the tree, and go from there. If they've got key things they want to feed into it, then that's fine. We'll look at what ideas they come up with.
So I've changed the item to defer time of road closure until spoken to businesses.
Yeah.
Have a proposal and second, please.
Do we need to get permission to use Tracy's lights?
Well,
yeah,
we need
that'd be
to
nice.
ask
Yeah.
about how we access them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, for the Jubilee, I know it's in the daytime, but if
Yeah.
we're going to have, throughout the Jubilee weekend, it'd be nice to have them on.
Mm.
Is that agreed to everybody?
Yeah.
And then for the actual proposal, thank you. Everybody agree?
Yeah. Items for discussion and agenda item requests,
I think it's the same as today.
pretty much the same as today.
Mm.
Just updating on everything and then agreeing dates, times,
Yeah.
for anything else. If anybody's got anything in particular, then we just stick it on there. And then confirm the date and venue of the next events meeting.
So the next one will be with, after the reshuffle or whatever.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So that depends on who's on the committee, I suppose, then, does it?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to book it in, because otherwise everybody's going to be.
I'd book it in now.
Yeah.
If we put the date in, and then,
I mean, there's not many other people that can be on here, is there really? So,
No.
18th?
No, I can't do that, mate. I'm away that way.
23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th.
I can't do the 26th, but the rest of it I'm fine. Sorry.
should we do the week of the 23rd?
Yeah.
Whenever.
Monday the 23rd?
Mm-hmm.
Works for me.
23rd.
yeah,
What time?
4:30, all right for you, Mark?
Yeah. Yeah, Monday should be.